Here are some of my favorite books of 2026 so far. It's been an amazing reading year, and I think that is a combination of opening myself up to new genres while also being a little bit pickier about the genres that I already read. Starting off with the fantasy books, A Natural History of Dragons. I had such low expectations when I picked this up. This was actually in an unhaul box before I started reading it, but you follow a young woman named Isabella who is coming up in Victorian age, and obviously during that time, women are not encouraged to explore education, especially the sciences, but Isabella has a deep curiosity about natural history, and she comes to meet somebody that nurtures that curiosity in her, and you get to follow her on her first expedition as she learns about dragons and the much bigger world than her small community. And Runebreaker, this actually got picked up by a traditional publisher, and I'm really excited for the author. She's actually really sweet, but you follow Ailey. She's a young woman who has the ability to break ruins in this world. It's an ability that she should not possess. At one point, her sister goes missing, and she gets captured by the king, and as she is about to be executed by the executioner, that's literally his name, she breaks the ruins on the executioner. So then he takes her and he kidnaps her and takes her back to his land. It has a lot of those familiar romantasy tropes, but I do feel like the author put her own spin on them, and it ended up feeling really refreshing as a romantasy. I had an incredible time with this, and I loved the characters. And we have Vessilis. This one is a slightly darker fantasy romance, but in this one you have Nazara. She is the daughter of a king who took over a land, and they killed the previous king that used to reside over that land. She doesn't really like her role, and she doesn't really like how her father came into power, but she ends up being antagonized by the prior king, who is now a ghost, and he's trying to steal her soul. Then they meet, and obviously it's a fantasy romance, so maybe there's not that much soul snatching going on. Surprisingly, the next three are all literary fiction, but I'm not mad about it. The Midnight Train. I absolutely loved The Midnight Library. I reread it again this year for the third time. The Midnight Train left nothing to be desired. In this story, you follow Wilbur. He's an old man who's passed away. He has the privilege to get to watch his life flash before his eyes and reflect on how he lived his life, and he comes to the realization that maybe he didn't live his life to the fullest potential. Demon Copperhead. You get to follow Demon from kind of the day he's born until he becomes a young man. His entire life is a struggle. His entire life is kind of melancholy and somber, but he does have small moments of happiness that he's kind of chasing after they've happened. It is an incredible character study, and it also shines a spotlight on some of the systems that are out there and are supposed to help children, but actually do the complete opposite. And last, but definitely not least, A Good Animal by Sarah Moore. Follow Everett in the summer of 1995 on a Michigan farm, and he is learning that the world is actually really callous, the real world. It's hard to fall in love. It's hard to have fights with your best friends. It's hard to disappoint your parents, but you get to go through all of that with him over the course of a year, and it is an incredible story. It is quietly devastating, though. Let me know what your favorite book of 2026 has been so far, because I'm probably going to add it to my TBR.